and Tony Triggerfinger were investigating the mysterious disappearance of Henry Stone, working alongside the notorious detective Frank D. Fortune. What will our heroes uncover in this City of Darkness?
Alright, welcome back to the Windless City. This is the second episode, and we are the Dungeon Master's Tavern. I'll be your DM today, Andrew. The Windless City is a deep underground city. It's set in a 30s type era. Instead of alcohol being prohibited, it's actually the sale and trade of magical items are closely monitored and prohibited by the church. So, where we left off last time, our characters were working with Detective Frank D. Fortune to investigate the murder of Henry Stone, a wealthy aristocrat in the area. However, deaths and people disappearing, as we learned last session, aren't an unusual thing in the city, but a high-profile one like this is. They found a clue last time of a bloody cloth near the scene where Frank disappeared. They believe it to be Frank's blood, because it did look like elf blood to Frank with his investigation skills. For anyone unaware, Frank has these goggles on, basically infinite true sight on the character all the time. He uses the goggles to kind of focus it. And that's why he makes his name as a detective. Now, they went through the sewers, they found some green sludge, seemed to be some kind of plant magic going on. They poked a sword in, poked an arm in, it'd be covered in tree branches. Some goblins leapt out, yelled something about a plant queen, and they quickly dispatched them. Climbed out of the sewers on the other end following the trail where they found the bloody scarlet cloth, and now we are in front of the Church of Nimah. All right. So,
Nimah.
Yep. Last time, you grabbed a amulet, and you were attuning to it, and I'll go ahead and run through the effects of that now. You have the card in front of you, though.
I do.
Basically, what that does is it gives you a spell known as Dawn's Herald. Basically, once a day, it only has one charge. He can use the charge of Dawn's Herald, which recharges immediately at dawn, to restore 10 health points to himself and a ally that he chooses on sight.
That's freaking sick.
Yeah. So I figured that would play fun with the dynamic.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And you guys are probably about to see soon the dynamic of his character because it is the late afternoon. So, anyway. So, you all were saying you were going in the church when we left off last time to look for an alchemist, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were, after the amulet, fell off of, the statue or whatever outside the church, we were like, alright, I guess we'll head inside. I guess standing outside the church with everyone, Balthamar will...
That is the statue outside the church.
That was a good freaking throw.
Yeah, it was.
The background's just mystical, whatever, but that's the statue. And it's the very centerpiece of that sun that it's holding up fell out.
Very nice.
So, how far from the front door is it from the church?
Oh, it's a good 150 feet. It's a big courtyard.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
And there's like a fairway that where wagons and chariots and such go through. The main street, which is where you all came up from the manhole cover and brutally damaged the wealthy fat woman's wagon that was quite ticked at you all.
That's right.
When you hit her with the manhole cover while she was driving past. So yeah, you guys are going into the church. Frank, like he said last time, is not going to be coming with you. He does not mix well with the church. They do not ban his entry, but they don't quite see eye to eye. Yeah, they don't quite like his methods and the things he spreads about them, which we talked about last time. All right, so I think that's enough catch up. So, are you guys just going inside now, or anything you want to do before you go in?
I'm just gonna stand and be like, well, Frank, I'm sorry to see you leave, but if I'm being quite honest, you weren't much help anyway, so, as you were. And I just walk in.
I'm going.
You just see him in the background writing on a tablet, and he mutters something about lower pay.
I want, as he goes in, Goo's gonna like follow behind him, very hidden.
Very hidden. How are you trying to hide and sneak?
Just stay in the shadows.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like on that outskirts, but I'm gonna try to keep up with him.
I thought you were staying in his shadow. So you're sneaking around.
Yeah, I'm sneaking around, but I'm keeping eyes distance from him.
Dalton, you said you were going to try and sneak in. So if Goo wants to sneak in, there is a massive cathedral door. It's pretty heavily trafficked, which is where they would be going in. Do you want to try and find an alternate entrance?
Oh,
or
so he's just blowing through people?
No, I mean, like, it's a heavily trafficked area, so it's kind of hard to be hidden in the main door, you know?
I'm trying to do, like, Assassin's Creed in the cathedral.
So you gonna, like, climb up and go on the top, or you gonna, like, look for a window? What do you think?
Can I climb? Is there a place to climb?
Okay, so it is a brick wall, so there are little creases, so you could roll acrobatics to try and climb up. Like, maybe one hand on the door, other hand in the bricks, work your way up, and try and go in the top of the door frame. But
yeah, am I finger wedging this because I'm a goop? You know how people finger wedge climb?
It's going to be a hard AC, but you can try to beat it.
I'm going to go about 5 feet and see if I don't fall. Like, what was it?
What did you roll?
Well, what do I need to roll? Acrobatics, athletics? Acrobatics, 14.
Oh,
No.
no.
I drop back down.
You fall, and you hear a little behind the door. As you splat on the ground.
How lit is it? Is
Well,
it just like lanterns, or is it brightly lit?
So the streets are lit with gas lanterns, and there are kind of suspended chandeliers covered in candles all throughout the church, just kind of floating, keeping it well lit.
So, but is there shadows? Can I see shadows?
Yeah, there's definite shadows. It's lit by candle and...
I want to just Assassin's Creed, like... Boop, boop, like...
Hop between shadows.
What is your sneak roll?
You're a shadow man?
What is that? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Oh, man, I was only making that a moderate check. So you definitely pass. We're going to say that you have stealthed your way through the shadows up to a window near the front entrance, and you can go in the window if you want.
Okay. Oh, I thought he was walking through the front door.
He is.
Oh, I'm just
Okay.
going.
But there's no way to sneak through the front doorway.
Okay. So, yeah, I want to try to get in.
All right, so there's a little crack on the windows. Slip right in.
I'm going to, like, push my falchion in first.
Gotcha.
Because it's not formable.
Yeah.
So I'll push it in, and then just...
Yeah.
I'm going to gently sit on the ground, and then...
All right, so
grab it.
You've slipped in the window. You are in... All right, so you have slipped through the window very stealthily, and you've gently placed your sword on the floor, and you are in what appears to be kind of a minister's office. There's a little desk, some pens and papers, a bookshelf with some books, and various knockoff holy ornaments. And there's a doorway leading out to the main area of the temple.
Okay. Is it lit inside the cathedral?
The cathedral's lit, but not in this office. No one was in here.
Okay. I want to just, like, stick to the outskirts away from people and try to
kind of slip in
and make my way around.
All right, so you've slipped in. We're gonna say, no, you're fine. We'll use the same stealth check.
Okay.
You are now under one of the pews. All right, so near the main aisle. You're just you're like that little kid that sleeps under the pew during service, but except for you're all black and holding a dagger and a sword. Okay.
Yes,
well, my sword goes in my leg.
Gotcha. So yeah, you're just all black. Just
I look like a normal person. You just can't see my weapon.
You look like a shadow demon, and anyone that does spot you is immediately going to go back to praying and be like, no. The only person that sees you is an old lady at the altar who immediately starts crying and goes back to praying. All right. So are you all just walking through the front door?
Yeah, I'm following him.
So you all enter in. It is a grand cathedral. You've got a giant uplifted platform. There is no access to the platform. It's not like a platform in a typical church. It is very much a old Catholic style cathedral where you can't have access to the platform unless you come from the back. It is very raised up. There's a railing. You don't get to go up there.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom, there's various rows of seats, velvet carpet rows going all the way up, huge center aisle. He is under one of the pews near the front center aisle. As you guys walk in, like I said before, floating chandeliers with candles. Think Harry Potter with like the grand dining hall, but chandeliers.
Very cool.
And you see there's a couple ministers walking about doing their duties. One of them's got one of those like razors where like you swing it and the mist comes out.
Incense.
But it's like a purple haze coming out of it. And that is the church. So what do you all do?
I'm just like kind of looking around, just stomping my way through, not trying to be conspicuous at all.
The minister with the incense, he has a hood over his face. You can't see his face at all. He goes past you, and you just get this massive puff of just the most bitter, almost spicy air hitting you right in the face as he grunts and like shrugs past you and keeps going.
I turn around and go, "You are very much a nuisance to this world." And I just keep walking.
He's like, "I'm paid to do this." And he just keeps going.
Dang. I just walk in normally, try not to draw attention to myself.
Gotcha. So you just casually walk in, like any other churchgoer. One of the priests in the corner looks up and sees you and goes, "Oh, Tony, another confessional!" And he walks into the confessional booth, just expecting you to come in and confess your sins, as you have done many, many times before.
I'm not here for that today.
He's like, "Oh, okay, it makes my job easier." And he comes back. He goes back to the front.
Maybe another time.
All right. So I'm assuming you've made it to the front now, where this same priest has walked back up, and you can address him if you'd like at this point. You're close enough to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna just like my axe is like on my axe is on my back, like it's not drawn right now. I'm just gonna like stand and point at the priest and be like, "We have questions for you."
He's like, "Many people do. Many people do. That's what we're here for. My name's Bartholomew. This is the Church of Nimah. How can I put your mind at ease, son?"
My name is Balthramar.
It's like, "All right. My name's Bartholomew.
It's a pity you don't know who I am. Would you like us to ask these questions now and embarrass you in front of your congregation, or would you like to take us back? I'm willing to do it both ways."
It's like, "I'm not sure what you're referring to, but perhaps we step into the confessional booth." And he goes back into the booth once again.
I fall into the confessional booth. I like barely fit in it.
What? So you have to like shrug to go through the door, and you like tuck in, you like push your axe down a little bit, and it still kind of clangs and just like chips a little piece off the top of this booth as you go in.
I don't think
I want to go like, so if the confessional booths are like I'm thinking, where's the priest and him and the veil in the middle, I want to go on the other side of the priest and just sit there and listen. He's drunk.
Are you going to be outside the booth or in the booth? Okay. So yeah, you slip easily under all the pews. Everyone's busy praying, going about their duties, just trying to do church things. And you get right up next to the booth.
Behind the booth?
Like between it and the wall, or just...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little gap. You can slide right in there if you'd like.
I do that.
Yeah.
Can I fit in there?
You definitely don't fit in the gap. You're not a plasmoid.
I thought it was like a bit larger.
This big.
I want to sit there and
inches.
eavesdrop where I can hear him and the priest.
All right. Once he sits down at the booth, you hear the same fake Italian accent he addressed Tony with earlier. Apparently, it's his confessional voice. And he looks at it, he's like, "So what can I do for you?"
I want to immediately address the accent with "Your voice has changed."
"I don't know what you're talking about."
"I do not understand this ploy. I know you're the exact same man that I saw seconds before."
You came in here with Tony, right? The mob types, they like a certain kind of voice when they're doing confessional. It makes them feel more at ease. I just put it on. I'll drop it. I'll drop it for you. Okay, I'll talk normal if it makes you feel better.
"I don't care how you speak. All I care is what you say.
Oh, Lord.
I have questions for you that you will answer."
Typically, you just confess things here, but what can I do for you?
So is it like a normal, like a Catholic confessional where like...
Yeah, there is
veil.
100% a screen,
Okay.
and you see a silhouette of him on the other side. And on his view looking through the screen is just this giant, hulking brute
I'm
of
kinda
strength.
I'm like hunched over.
Yeah, just like hunched over, like almost taking up the whole screen
So-
just with black.
being an Asmer,
Yeah.
an Asmar, I can choose at any point to have my eyes start glowing. So I kind of just want to like turn my head towards the screen and my eyes start glowing like this like like not too bright to where it'll like hurt him, but like bright enough where he can definitely see my eyes through the screen, and be like, "Tell me about the murder."
The high priest said this day would come, and he's like, finally the light of Nimah shines on me. He thinks that you are a divine messenger come to speak to him. Because of the light in the confessional booth coming through the screen. He thinks he's speaking to a messenger of his god now. So, yeah, he finally composes himself, and he's like, I don't, who died?
If I'm being honest, I don't quite remember his name.
Oh my god.
I don't think I know. I mean, a lot of people. It's a big city.
We are here with Frank. He sent us in. I know you don't like this man, but that is besides the point. You will tell me what I need to know, or I will level this place.
I'm sorry. Don't tell me, Ma. And he's like, I don't. Who died? What are you here for?
Do you have the cloth on?
I don't think so. I think you.
Who has the cloth? No, I gave it to Frank.
You gave it to Frank. Has the
Frank
cloth.
outside. Yeah. Okay. So you guys don't have the cloth.
I was going to say use the cloth, but you don't have it.
You could whisper through and help him in the booth with you, because
me?
He doesn't know who died.
I want to attempt to whisper to him and not let the priest hear me.
All right.
So I want to move behind his portion of the booth and go, and basically try to tell him.
Do a very
what will we do?
Do a history check, and I'll tell you the name. It's going to be a very easy check. But what did you get? 3. You only had to get a 5. All right.
Can I make a history check?
Can I make one?
You're not even there.
over there.
Yeah, sure.
I can just walk over there and be like,
7.
7. Okay. You're like, you would remember that his name is Henry Stone.
I'm gonna go. It has dawned on me. The man. His name is Henry Stone.
Oh, the aristocrat. How is he?
He's dead.
Oh, so not well. I hate to hear it.
If you continue to try my patience, you will not fear your god, you will fear me.
You hear him. He just he's bawling. He's truly terrified. He thinks he's been sent from the goddess Nimah, and he thinks he's in trouble, and he has no idea why.
I'm gonna dim the light in my eyes to be like, listen, I know that my presence can be quite intimidating at times, but I really need you to do me a solid and compose yourself.
All right. You see he grabs the garment, this long black robe he's wearing, and just full snot, tears wipes all of it. You can barely see it through the screen, but you can tell it was just a juicy wipe. He's like, he's like, all right. How can I help?
I need to find what happened to this man. We have been hired to find out what happened to this poor man.
That would explain why Frank's followed you around then. I'm truly sorry.
Frank is our employer.
And you see he kind of straightens up, and he's a little more wary of you. He doesn't believe that someone that works with his god would work with Frank, so he's kind of giving you the cold shoulder at this point. But he's still there to listen to you and help if you have questions. But he's not groveling against the screen anymore. He's set back up.
What do you know about this man?
He's a wealthy aristocrat. I believe he owns some of the mines.
The mines across the sea.
No, the dwarven ones. I believe some of them might be across the sea, but I'm not experienced myself. You can tell he just knows nothing of mining. He deals with the church and a lot of mob characters that come in, but the dwarves don't frequent the church.
So, we're like, well, do you think that it would be wise to look for these mines for further information?
I don't think he goes there himself.
Well, he doesn't go anywhere anymore. He's quite dead.
But I don't think he did when he was alive. And you can see after that little snicker, He's doing the it's sort of like the Catholic thing where they make the cross, but instead it's like the 5 points of a star around himself as he prays for repentance for laughing at that joke.
They're like, all right, listen, you've done enough. I've gotten all I need from you. My eyes start to glow again.
He's like, ah! He runs out of the booth.
Like I can't. I don't even try to like maintain the structural integrity of the booth. I just want to stand up and barrel through the door.
Your head comes clean through the top of this confessional booth, which was like a thin plywood.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have you roll a strength check just to see how much chaos ensues here.
7.
7? Okay, so it's not too bad. You just sort of walk into the door and it just falls off the hinges and you just walk on it.
Yeah,
And, You see the one with the brazier that looks over and he's like, oh, another repair. And he just keeps going again up and down the aisles, waving the brazier. So you're not going to get anything else out of Bartholomew. He's ran to the back.
It's fine.
Truly terrified of this experience. You all can...
I want to go, Goop! Tony! Where are you?
I just come from out back of the thing and just stand behind him.
Just walk over.
Oh, my sticky friend. Listen, I have gotten word from the small man in the box. He says that the man that we are looking for, well, the man who's dead, he used to be a wealthy owner of the mines. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I think we have some dwarves to throw around.
I'm good.
Yes. What say you, Tony?
Yeah, but why do we need to hurt the dwarves?
Because he owned the mines, and the dwarves work in the mines, and I suspect the dwarves killed the man.
But the dwarves did nothing to us.
The dwarves will pay for what they've done.
Oh, Lord.
I will find these little men, and they will perish.
Actually, after I hear this, do I see a way to the back?
A way to the back.
Where
Yes.
Bartholomew...
There's the same door that he just ran through. It's not really protected. This isn't a militant area. This is very much a civilian just place of the church. The military areas are more towards the guard wall in the back, so no one's really guarding this at the moment. There's just a door off to the side.
Nice.
Can I go in the back?
I mean, yeah, you can definitely try.
Stealthily.
All right. So I'll have you roll another stealth check for me then, if you want to try and sneak through this doorway without being seen.
When he leaves, would I see him, depart?
Depends on how good he rolls, I guess. Unless you want
23.
Do you want to tell him you leave, or do you just go?
I just go.
You just go. All right. So you slip away. You slip through the door. It is still unlocked because Bartholomew was in such just a tizzy that he just ran through the door. He didn't even fully shut it behind him. It was still cracked. So it wasn't locked, and you were able to slip in. You can see there's a stairway to your right that goes up to the platform. There's a heavily locked door there, though, so there's no real way you can get onto the platform without some work. It's not going to be as easy to get there. It would also be easily noticed by all of the people that there's someone on the platform. And there's a hallway continuing on to the back.
When he leaves, I'm just gonna turn and be like, well, shut Goop. Where have you gone, my little friend?
What else do I... Just the hallway and going upstairs?
Yeah, there's a hallway that goes forward and turns off to the left, and there's a staircase up to the right.
I'll continue going down the hallway.
Right. You continue going down. There are more various offices similar to the one you broke into, but they look like they're in a smaller standing.
So that no head priest office?
The head priest's office is going to be in a separate area, but one of the main priests situated toward the front, while the lesser ones are here. You're welcome to go in, look around in those, or you can continue down the hall to what looks like more of a common area for the ministers, kind of their cafeteria area.
I was looking for the main priest office.
Main priest office. Okay.
So
it's here somewhere.
Nice.
But it's not where you are. So
I go back.
You go back out where they are?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back out there. Do you all have anything you want to do? Anyone you want to talk to? Anywhere you want to potentially go. There are more doors.
I kind of want to bully some of the congregation members.
All right, so
Just because. One question I do have. What time is it?
it is, I'm gonna say about 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. That's pretty all right.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of time till sunset, just a few hours.
All right.
Like,
So-
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm going to just be like, well, this is the best lead that we've gotten since the blood rag in the tunnels. We know who has died, and we know where he used to work. See, and they say that all I am is muscle. What do you...
As you are.
What was that?
Nothing.
That's what I thought.
I am good.
Where did you slip off to, my friend?
I am good. I am good. I am good.
So, nothing in the back rooms, I suppose.
I am good.
Just think to myself, like, why did I have to be hired with these idiots?
I am good.
No, I thought it. I didn't say
Oh,
it.
you thought it?
Yeah,
Extend the
they
invitation. You haven't really done anything. Is there anything you want to do while we're in here before they gallivant off to the dwarves?
Can I see if there's see if I notice anything unusual about the church?
You will know that the person with the brazier in the incense, pretty normal. The most unusual thing you've seen is the priest that you normally do a confessional with, running out, covered in snot, crying as the booth exploded. Other than that, it's just the various, there's normal churchgoers, there's some elderly women, elderly men, you see a couple with their children over off to the side, just the general churchgoers and just a couple priests in the back tending to duties.
So, like, nothing now the usual.
No, it's very much it's a normal day for them. So,
Y'all just want to go ahead and head there? Or do you want to do anything?
You Canadian now?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying this in character. I'm like, what do y'all want to do? I'm ready.
I mean, if there's nothing else to
There's
be...
nothing here.
If there's nothing else to be said about the church, I'm kind of just gonna like, I don't respect this place at all.
okay. Now, just to clarify, there was another door on the other side. I think I told you all, but there was another door on the other side. There's some more offices toward the back. You are welcome to leave. I just don't know if I described the environment adequately. I'm not trying to drop hints. I'm just realizing that I failed at that.
He's dropping hints. Go to the door.
Go.
But, so you guys go back out to the fountain area where Frank's at this point?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'll just walk back out.
I just follow him. I don't try to sneak.
So you walk out. Frank's still sitting in the
I
fountain.
want to pull out an
smoking a
apple and
cigarette.
just start cutting it.
All right, he sees you leaving the church with an apple. He has no idea where the apple came from. You look quite confident strutting out of the church, like you've just gleaned the most valuable information to this investigation ever. Goo is still trying to sneak.
Yeah.
I was just following him.
Okay, so you're just following him. So you're all coming back out. He stands up, kind of waves the ash off his cigarette, pinches it out, sticks it in his coat pocket. He says, "All right, did you find your alchemist?"
I have solved the case, Frank.
Oh, well, what did you learn?
He worked for the mines, or he owned the mines.
I told you that before we left my office.
The dwarves are responsible for his death.
Why would the dwarves kill their boss?
Maybe they're unfair working conditions.
Well,
It must be very dark in those mines.
The
I will
dwarves.
say, Henry was the leader of the Fair Employment Union for the mines.
Interesting.
He's so dumb.
This endeavor has proven to be quite the enigma.
Did you see Goo point to his head and then point at Baltimore and go,
No.
I am Goo.
Well, I saw you sneak into one of the offices. Did you find anything of value?
I am
Any
Goo.
information?
I am Goo.
And he looks at you and he's like, anything?
Not really.
He's like, well, so what are you doing here? Go do something. You found nothing. You looked for 2 minutes. You came back out. I hear screaming, and you tell me the same information I told you 30 minutes ago.
Well, he scared the priest, first of all.
And he just puts his hand down, like his face down his hand, and he just great disappointment.
Fine, you want answers, I will give you answers. I want to draw my axe and just run back into the... No!
Into the church.
And just put it back into the church.
I run behind
Off of
him.
my weight!
I run behind him, but this time I'm going for that other door.
Oh no. Okay. Let's see here.
I just I look at Frank and I'm like, oh Lord.
I just book it back into the
So
church.
you guys have booked it into the church. Weapons drawn.
Oh no, mine's weapon's not drawn.
Okay, so his weapon's drawn. You're just ready to go.
I'm going for that door, the other one. I'm looking for, now that Frank said that, I'm looking for the main priest office.
Okay, so yeah, I'll more adequately explain. You've got to the right, there's a couple of offices. To the front left, there's kind of a clerical area with a receptionist. They're kind of busy with some paperwork. And then there's a door on the left, door on the right. You already went through the door on the left. It leads up to the platform and just to some of the lesser offices. So, you wanted to go to the back right door, or you want to go to the front?
I guess kind of what I'm doing now is just being the biggest distraction that has ever existed.
Okay.
I'm looking for the main office. So,
Do you follow them back in, Tony?
No.
No, you had no part of this.
I'm
This
like-
looks terrible.
lucky for me, he's a distraction. They don't see me.
So, as I run back into like the main, while he's doing this, as I run back into the main auditorium, I want to cast light on my axe. So my axe is now is like bright light, and I'm going to use my feature radiant consumption to where my entire body just starts radiant glowing, and I'm just going to be like, "What do you know of Henry?"
do I get advantage on stealth?
You don't even have to roll a stealth check.
Oh, I did. It's 18 plus 7, 25.
I'm like, yeah, I wasn't even going to make you roll one. I was going to say he was plenty of a distraction. But yeah, you're definitely well hidden.
I want to go to that door.
Okay, you see Bartholomew's come back out to the main area. As you come in, and he full fence. Just falls in the floor. The door is wide open to the left side.
Also, if anyone is within 10 feet of me, they need to make a con save.
Alright.
So why did you get wanted for posters? So we raided a church.
Oh my god. He rolled a 17, the guy with the
Yeah, okay, he passed.
Alright, I didn't know what I needed to save against.
DC's 13.
For what?
Radiant consumption.
Don't they take half damage if they fail?
Oh,
or
that's
they
right.
succeed?
They succeed is half damage.
How much damage does he take?
We're about to find out.
Oh god.
Oh, that's not mine.
That's not it.
Where's my spellcaster page? Oh no, the DC save is 11. So he still passed,
Okay,
but
half damage. Okay.
charisma.
We'll roll with it. We'll say he doesn't take damage because he's got a relatively high AC. However, he is quite knocked back and sort of stumbles a little.
Yeah.
You see, he takes the brazier and just sort of whips it like a flail. It slams into the ground and spikes shoot out of it.
I'm sorry?
He is, unbeknownst to you until now, a paladin that fights with a flail, and he sees you charging into the church.
No,
he's well stationed to defend it.
He doesn't even make a save.
Oh, okay.
If anybody's in 10 feet,
Yeah.
you do, damn it.
How much damage?
Until the transformation ends, once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell.
Yeah.
So if you attack him, you get to add the extra damage equals to your proficiency bonus.
So 2. So I can add 2 radiant damage
Right.
if I attack him.
Okay. Okay.
Is he going to attack me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if they attack you, they also take the damage.
If they attack me, he also takes radiant damage.
He's so he's gonna take it just pretty much an attack of opportunity on you because you are full barrel charging, but not intentionally charging him.
Yeah.
So let's see here. What is your AC?
It is 16.
All right, he misses by quite a bit. But you see the flail whizzes past your head, and there is a purple haze behind it, but it is much thicker and darker now, and you feel a burn on your face. It goes past. You feel a little woozy, but where he missed, you're not going to take any effects from it. But yeah, that's his turn.
Oh, I'm in combat right now?
Yeah,
sort of. We're not going to roll initiative, but yeah, he is very much trying to
It's
stop you.
basically
as you
a
charge
duel. It's you versus this other dude.
Also, while this is happening, you can take a chance to try and go in that room. It is locked, so you're going to have to try and roll performance to take that lock.
Performance or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand, sorry.
It'll be a 12.
I can actually add
Yeah, you get in.
Okay.
Takes you a little bit of time where there's kind of a low roll for the lock, but I'll say you get in, And you go in, and it's another hallway like that. I'm going to come back to him real quick, though, and handle this situation. I just wanted you to be aware that you got in there during that distraction. So, what do you do now?
I see this thing go past me, and it, like, burns. And I want to, I just want to, like, on a dime, 180.
Yeah.
And, like, I just have, like, axe.
Oh, no, he's up the aisle ahead of you.
Oh,
he saw you charging in, thought you were charging towards him, and he immediately reacted.
Oh, okay. So like it goes by me, and I'm just like I stop running, and then I just I'm like just standing up straight, and I look at him. I want to attempt to I don't know. Yeah, I want to attempt to intimidate him into lowering his weapons because I'm not actually trying to fight. I'm just trying to get answers.
All right, roll for me. What do you get?
11.
All right, so he does start to lower his weapon a little bit. Is this the only thing you're doing on your turn right now? Just trying to convince him to stand down?
Yeah, I'm just trying to convince him to stand down. I'm like,
right.
I am not here to fight. I need answers.
And about how close would you say you got to him?
Probably about 20 feet away from him, maybe.
So
I'm not in melee range. I'm just.
He starts to lower his flail. What do? Do you just
as he lowers his flail, I kind of like the light on my body just kind of like kind of dims a little bit, and I put my axe back on my back.
And he immediately...
Oh, it lasts for 10 minutes. Never mind. I'm just really bright, but I just put my axe up.
He immediately uppercuts you with the flail after you started to think he's lowering his guard, because he did pass that check. And he does not hit you, though. He misses again. His hood is very much obscuring his vision.
He said, woof. As he does it, I'm like, I have no quarrel with you, man.
And he looks at you and is like, why are you acting a fool in the church?
I am not a fool. You are the fool for attacking a man that's my stature.
I'll let you go when you break the confessional. But you keep acting like this, I'm going to have to do something about it.
I need answers.
Yeah, well, I'm not the answers guy. I'm the guy that takes care of problems that walk through the door. Drunkards usually. Today, it's an idiot.
How dare you? The only idiot I see in this place are the people that worship this statue.
He looks at you holding a bright, sun-crested, glowing axe with, a little bit of a glowing amulet coming out of your chest. The shirt of your chest where it's kind of been dislodged during combat. And you're literally glowing. And he's like, so you're not a follower. All right, you are stupid.
Why would I follow something that is a mere imitation of my own self?
You're literally covered in her regalia.
Hers. This is me. I am the sun. I am the son of the sun.
He realizes you're an idiot, and he just goes, just stop making problems, and I won't have to fix them, and he walks away.
I would pick up the nearest person.
Oh my god.
And I'd be like, do you know where Henry is?
So you picked up the small old woman that saw him sneaking before that was praying harder, thinking she saw the shadow demon. And
now does she think that she's seeing Nimah?
No, she can't see at all.
Now all she sees is light. She's lifted. She hears this burly voice screaming for answers. She immediately faints.
Okay.
You have now knocked 2 people out in the church. And you'll see the guy with the razor is coming back. Because you successfully have caused another problem.
I just want to I want to hold. You know how you pick up a cat by the fat of their neck. I kind of want to hold her by the back of her collar. They'll be like, "This woman fainted. You should call a doctor." And I just want to slowly set her down on the ground, and then I want to walk out. I'm done causing problems. I don't want the mace wielding incense burner to wreck me right now.
So. He sees you drop the woman, and he is going to swing at you again because his mace has a 30-foot range, so you are still very much in range.
I've set the woman down, I've turned to walk away.
Yeah, he's going to try and hit you, so he does not hit you.
You're like Scorpion with this.
Oh my god.
Dude, in that hood, he cannot see.
He has not rolled higher than an 8. this entire time.
Nice.
You should keep using those dice.
I switched to 3 different D20s.
Dice jail.
I don't have any more D20s on me.
All right.
So yeah, he misses again. You're leaving at this point?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk out.
You see, he goes to tend to the woman. He kind of shakes the chain. The spikes go back in. The burner actually turns a green color, and he's waving it over her. It looks like he's healing her.
Nice.
You are in the back, though. So you see a long hallway. There are more offices on the right. They look like a little bit of higher importance. You see what looks like a storeroom off ahead to your left, and you see the hallway turns to the right at the end and keeps going.
I'll keep going.
Keep going. Okay, so you go past the lower offices, you go past the storeroom. You see a set of stairs going down to kind of a dim area. You see another set of stairs going up, and you can't really tell where they go either way. And kind of
up.
All right, so you go up the stairs, and you see you are now in a area of kind of maybe not like the highest priest, but this is some more high-level areas. And there's just several offices, but you can tell there's more important artifacts. They're not actually knockoffs unlike the other offices you've seen. There's more high-quality furniture. They're more organized. They're slightly larger. So it looks like these are some of the more important priests' offices.
Which one looks the most?
You see at the end of the hallway, there is a one with, on the glass, there's sort of a mosaic of a sun, and it's actually got a nameplate.
What does the name say?
All right, so the name says George the Third.
George the Third.
Yeah,
George
this
the
is
Third.
George the Third.
Nice.
Is it locked? Or first, is there anybody in there?
There does not appear to be anyone in there, and the door is locked. So you would have to try and pick this open as well with the slide again.
Is there any opening?
I figured you could do that. There is about a 2-inch gap at the bottom of the door. You just go right under. All right, so are you leaving your sword outside?
If there's 2 inches, my sword can fit.
It does? Wow. How big is your sword?
It's a falchion.
Wow, okay.
Falchion's hilt's this a little wider than the blade.
So we'll say you scrape the bottom of the door quite
Yeah.
a bit with the sword. Got a difficulty pulling it through. Makes a little bit of a ruckus, but you've got in with your sword. You look around. There are some very nice, comfy chairs where you can look. It looks like discussions might happen. There's a large, ornate wooden desk with sort of a sun obelisk on it, but it's kind of like spinning and rotating in some mechanical gizmo. Looks like a very fancy, very expensive desk ornament. There's various paperwork stacks on his desk, big bookshelf behind it with different tomes. They're all numbered 1 through like 500, and they all just have the same little sun logo on it, and a little bit of text.
I want to go to the desk and try to open the drawers, find anything linked to the murder.
Okay, so you do find a letter in one of the drawers. It is from Henry Stone, and it is actually about a shipment of stone for repairs to the church. So you do see the letter. It looks like they had to do a repair to the church at some point. They ordered some stone off of it. It doesn't seem like there's any ill intent between this priest, George III, and him. It just seems like he is some kind of managerial role. Not really like a higher level of priest, but a higher level of just responsibility. They put quite a bit on his plate. He's rewarded for such. That's why his office is so ornate. But he's just ordering stone from Henry Stone.
I'll take it just in case.
Take it. You shove the paperwork into your goop.
Like I pull like the vest.
Yeah.
So it's like a normal vest,
Yeah.
but when I put it in, it's just my body and it presses into me.
Just eat the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to look around? Anything else while you're in
I
here?
want to look at the bookshelf.
Okay.
Is there any?
This is a complete encyclopedic collection of the beliefs of the church. You see there are books also detailing the...
There you go.
Oh, we're good. There are books detailing the people employed in the church, sort of a catalog of current and past employees, congregational members that have any kind of standing at all are all listed there. The list of donations to the church, just various church records. If there's anything in particular you want to look for, it's probably here.
I want to look at the names real quick, just scan over and see if there's any, like...
Which
Henry
list?
Stone.
Because there's many different
the
books and different types of
past and present and future, or not future, but employees. Employees one.
Okay, so you do not see anything related to Henry Stone in the employment or congregation of the church in anything other than just a member roll. He's not listed here. However, I'll have you roll an investigation for me to see if we find anything else juicy.
That is a... What's 10.
Is exactly what you needed. So you do see a page detailing the recent employment of alchemists in the church, like you all were looking for before. And you also have found a page with a list of members, but they don't have any roles listed. The role section is blank, but you see their wages are quite high. So yeah, you can see these employees are being paid a lot, but there's no listed responsibilities.
Those things, I want to...
Rip them both out and take them? All right.
And then I think I have enough. I'm going to just exit the way I came and try to do it as stealthily as possible.
All right, yeah. You make it back out, and as you come back out, you see this dude, like, there's a fainted woman. He is waving the brazier over her, trying to heal her. Chaos is in the church. People are leaving. It looks like there's been quite a scene while you were in there.
I'm going to use my bonus action and just hide and go around and act like nobody's seen me.
All right, yeah. So
and meet up with them.
Definitely nobody catches you. There's just way too much of a commotion. You just look like another guy in a black suit leaving the church to them because they are focused on mostly the fainted ladies. You had stolen the paperwork. You had come back outside. You now have a very conspicuous list of high-paid church employees. It's like 2 pages front and back that you ripped out with no job title. You have a list of alchemists where you all know that there was some sort of alchemist in the church he was corresponding with. You learned that from Teresa last time. And you also have... What else was that you ripped out?
The employee list, the alchemist, and the one with no roles.
Yeah, there's the one with no roles, high pay. There's the alchemist, and then there is just the correspondence letter with Henry Stone.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So if you want, you can write those down or something. I'll try and write them down too.
Time
3:30
already.
All right. So, so you've all met back up outside. Frank is just... He doesn't even put out a cigarette or stand up this time. You can tell he's just over it. He's like, all right, what you got now?
I have no idea. These people in this so-called church are very unhelpful.
That is true, but something tells me you are as well. You at least seem competent as muscle. That's what I had you for, so I'm not mad. I'm just, inductive reasoning.
Have you talked to my accomplice?
Which one? I have 2 people here with you.
Clearly not this one.
I don't think I've
I'm
made
going
it.
to say your character is actually scratching his ear like you just were, just standing there, just like digging in his ear. So I look at Goo and I'm like, all right, what do you...
Oh, I made it back.
You've made it out where they're at. He's like, you gonna write a letter, like...
I take out, and they're like, freshly pressed.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you are gonna write me a letter.
And then I hand him the 3. I hand him the 3.
All right, so he looks at the first one. He's like, all right, this does involve Henry. He's like, good, fine. I don't see how it's important now, but I'll hold on to it. And then he flips over and he's like, what is this? Some kind of employment list? What's special about this?
The one with no wages?
Yeah. Well, no, it has wages. It just has no positions.
Oh. I'm good.
So yeah, what does it say?
Basically, I'm trying to tell him they're paying high wages with no
Yeah, he sees
with no roles.
You see you say like goo 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 and point at both of these here. And he sees that the roll section is empty and the wages. He's like, seems suspicious. Once again, I don't know how it helps us find Frank, but, blackmail in the church is always a good thing. And he folds it up and puts it in his pocket.
Now, the alchemist, is there any, distinguish between any of them? Are they written the same? Is one circled? Is one dotted?
So there's none that are circled, but you can see there is some that are listed in the merchant section. So it means people that are high-level merchants, like Frank mentioned before, that the church can't really swoop up and use for their means, whatever that is. That he claims that they do. But then you also see there's a list of church-employed alchemists. Most of them have places they are stationed. Only one of them is listed as still in the city. And you would see that name is Tulisara.
Tulisara.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Which, do any of you speak Elvish?
No.
Yeah, then you would not know what that name is.
No, I speak common and celestial.
I speak English.
Well, if you ever need to yell at God. So if we need someone to yell at God, you're well prepared.
Yes.
Speak common.
Alright.
What was that name?
Tulisara. So it's Tulie and then
Tulie. What was the last one?
Sara. Is a Elvish name.
Can you stop flipping through my
Sarah?
Yeah.
Sara?
Yeah, so you can tell it's an Elvish name, so it seems to be an Elvish alchemist. They are stationed in the city. It does have an address. Looks like it is in the warehouse district, somewhat close to where he's from. So your current leads, he is involved with the dwarf's mines. You have found a alchemist location. You have found a suspicious list from the church with the wages and such. And you also never went and spoke to the person they mentioned was Frank's friend near where he lives, that he's seen with commonly, nor have you went to where he lives. So those are your best leads at this point.
Which one's closer?
Closest. Let's see where you're at on the map. Okay, so the church is here. It's this big building.
Where's Frank live?
So,
Or
not Frank. Henry Stone would
the
live
friend.
near the park, which is this large green square in the very middle of the city, because he is very wealthy, and this green section is the merchants district. So he's going to live there. He's going to be somewhere near. So you're actually quite close to where he lives. It's also quite close to Teresa's coffee shop, which is right on the edge of this area. So it's sort of back where you came from, if you wanted to go there.
I say go to his house and see if there's anything there.
Okay. So yeah, Frank's like, might be a good idea to check out where he lives. I was thinking of stopping by. Y'all want to come with, or you want to go look at one of the other leads, be back up? What's everybody want to do?
Well, there's the dwarf's mine, which is our lowest on the list that we should go. Next, next is this alchemist, and then his friend, and then his house. So
I say we go to his house.
So we'll go with Frank. I'm down with the go.
I agree, Tony. We should find out if anything happened at his place of residence.
Alright. So you guys gonna head that way?
Yeah.
So that's indeed back where you came from. Do you want to kind of shortcut through the sewers, or do you want to go the normal way?
What time is it?
To the sewers.
It's about 4 o'clock. It's getting pretty close to sundown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will just. Shall we go back through our disgusting area and say hello to our goblin friends again? Or shall we just take the roads?
I really don't want to go back down there. It's quite nasty.
Why not?
This suit is...
You don't want to feel the glory of combat.
Well, it's complicated because I don't want to get the suit dirty.
Frank's like, yeah, I second that. It's pretty nasty down there.
Fine. I suppose we will take the high road.
Alright, so Frank's like, alright, let's go to his residence. You can meet Mrs. Stone if you'd like, if she's there, I don't know.
There's a Mrs. Stone.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up. She's a sweet lady, but...
Is she old and ugly?
Yes, she's rich, but she's got a face that you're probably not going to love. There was an accident a while back. So, don't get excited, but she could be a lead. I just could tell from the way you were talking. It's not a romantic interest unless you like slugs.
Tell by the way I'm talking.
She's a slug.
Your mother's a slug.
Frank just shakes his head. He's like, all right. And he's like,
Quite
I'm gonna
offensive.
go. So you guys can all follow him, or if you want to split up, investigate different leads, would you go to?
What does the area around here look like? Are we still like right in front of the church?
Yeah, you are at the statue and the fountain nearby where Frank was, right in the main area. It's a very bustling street. You can see there's some shops on one side. Because it is literally right here. So you've got shops right here. This is the main street you all are on. You've got a little square here. That is the area with the fountain.
Yeah.
So there's shops down to the right. There's a lot of just buildings and religious sites around because this is mainly a religious / just sort of upper class living area. Basically, if you're the who's who of the Windless City, if you live here, because you are church invitation only. So yeah, it's busy street, couple shops. As you get toward the merchant district, but mostly just houses and businesses that aren't front-facing businesses.
Gotcha. Well, then I suppose we just follow Frank and we go on.
All right. Frank leads you into the heart of the merchant district over here, a little to the left of the park. You will see that there is a large house. It is nowhere near the size of the Nightshade Manor that you went to before, but it is quite large and quite unusual for the densely packed Windless City to have a house this large. You can tell he was quite wealthy as the owner of the mines. Frank walks up to the front gate, large gold gate with a fence. It is very fenced off, very secure. Not something that people would typically want to break into. You don't see any guards though, but you do see a sort of panel with a couple of magical crystals sticking out. He pokes one, and you hear what sounds like an echo of a distant voice. And
I just want to apologize for the audio. Presley literally doesn't even know how to work his own body. He's just smacking the tables.
give like
sorry.
7 minutes to open a Coke and sit back down.
I'm 6'3", okay? It's hard to get around in these small places.
We'll take a quick.
And you're the same size of a pole.
You're right. Like a traffic
Okay.
cone.
I want to try to break the gate down.
You're not even gonna wait to see what Frank's doing. You're just gonna hit the gate immediately.
Oh wait.
Yeah, he pushes it. You hear a distant echo of a voice. It's a very. I'm not gonna do it justice for what I want it to be. It's a very sultry, feminine voice, and it's like, "Hello, what can I do for you?" Like I said, can't really do it justice. And he's like, "Hey, Miss Stone, it's Frank. We wanna look around Frank's belongings. I got some people working with me here. We wanna know if we got to look around." She's like, "Of course, doll." And you just see the gate just kind of shifts open as if on its own, you having to axe it down. If you had granted access to the manor. It's a long sort of driveway for the area. To put it in perspective, you could park 3 carriages with the horses back to back on this driveway, which isn't incredibly long, but for the Windless City, it's quite absurd. Normally that would be like 2 houses, because it's an underground city. There's nowhere really to add real estate unless you dig it out by hand. So very manicured bushes, very well kept, large house, 3-story, your typical white clean with the pillars and the wraparound porch. You can tell this is very, very wealthy family. And Frank just sort of walks up to the door. You can tell he's comfortable. He's been here before. Like he said, he was old friends with Frank. Not Frank. With Henry, he is Frank. Frank knocks on the door. You see a woman opens the door. She's in, kind of a night dress, kind of like you would go out to a club in. She looks very nice, except for half of her face is completely burned, like Two-Face. Oh, and that's what Frank was meaning. And he's like, "Hey, do you mind if we go up to the office?" And she's like, "Yes, go ahead," and just sort of sultries off into the back.
Wait, does she lead us in, or do we pass her as we come in?
Oh, she just sort of leaves the door open and walks away, and you can pass her as you go in. Yeah, she's...
Well, as we go in, I want to kind of like it's obvious that Balthamar is trying to whisper, but he doesn't know how to whisper. So he's just going to lean over to Coop and go, I see what he means about accident.
And you see she just kind of gives a look over her shoulder. This keeps going.
I lean over to Tony. I'm like, she's not much of a looker.
Who's trying to like elbow him as hard as he can.
She looks back at Frank as she's about to leave the room, and she's like, perhaps you can bring some more hospitable guests next time. And just walks away. And you see Frank goes up the main staircase.
Was it something I said?
Goo just like
You're an idiot.
just does this and follows Frank. Just shakes his head in complete
utter disbelief.
As Frank goes up the staircase, he looks at you, Goo, and he says, sometimes I wish you were the one with the mouth and he was the one that couldn't speak.
That's quite.
I am Goo.
He's like, yeah, me too, friend, me too. And he just keeps walking until he has no idea what you said. But he goes up to the top of the stairs, to the right. You're in a large office. Once again, there is bookshelves around a desk. However, unlike the offices at the church, where it's just like standard bookcases, this is a large bookcase that goes up. It goes over top of the desk. It's got one of those wheeling ladders to it. This is a whole room just chock full of books. Some of them have a slight glimmer to them, kind of like a sheen. Not shiny, but in an arcane sort of way. Like, there's some energy on them. You can tell that he was quite the collector because there are various minerals and cases. There's what looks to be a fossil on his desk, kind of supported. It looks like it's some ancestor to a goblin. But it's quite small, quite angry looking, and quite dead. And you're free to look around and inspect things. But
Define angry looking.
He's kind of hunched over, and his arms are kind of around the front. Like, you can tell he's much smaller, but he would have been much bulkier than an actual goblin. Mm-hmm. And they've sort of taxidermied an artificial head onto it, because there was no head. And it's just the most vicious-looking goblin you've ever seen, with a complete skeleton lower half, but it's very much taxidermy and dead.
Yeah. Looks like our friends from the sewers.
Frank's like, yeah, if those were in the sewers, I would never flush.
I'd never sit on a toilet again.
Yeah, I'd poop in a bucket. You see, he just starts rummaging through the desk. You all are free to look around if you want.
I want to examine the statue further.
Okay, so yeah, it's just very much goblin bones, but they're very hard. They're not brittle. You kind of shake it, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It's a very sturdy statue.
Can I make an investigation check to see if anything stands out?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I just did.
All right, so you both rolled investigation. What did you guys roll?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right, what did you roll, Eric?
I rolled a 14.
Same.
Is there any area in particular you want to look in?
The bookshelf.
Okay. What about you, Dalton?
The desk.
The desk.
See if there's like any secret compartments, like he might have put secret stuff in.
Do you have an area you might think there would be, you would want to start with?
How does the desk look?
So it is one of those wraparound L-shaped desks. There's a bunch of cabinets on the left. Looks like there's a pull-out drawer on the front and just a large leg on the left side that is holding up the flat piece that goes over to where the cabinet side is.
I want to start at the large leg and
Gotcha.
make my way.
Okay, you will notice that there is a compartment on the leg, on the very top, since you rolled a 20. So
Yes.
Is it locked? Is it trapped?
it does not seem to be anything special about it. It looks like someone has hollowed out a section and then cut the top of it off, of what they've hollowed out, and kind of placed it back. So
Can I open it? If
Yes.
It's not trapped or locked.
you are welcome to pry it open.
Is there anything on the floor?
There are various rugs.
Ooh, I want to check one. I want to check some of the rugs.
All right, you roll investigation for me. What'd you get?
It got stuck in the corner. That's bad. 8.
Okay, so we'll work our way left to right. So I'm going to continue with Goop here. So yeah, you notice there are various scrolls. It looks like tucked down into the leg.
I pull them out.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they even worth reading? Is there anything linking?
The first one's another correspondence with the church. This one is a dispute of payment. They think that in the letter they should be paying less as sort of a alms situation than the typical customer for the stone. That was delivered. It's very different in tone than the one you found before. You also find references to an alchemist, but it's very...
What's the alchemist?
It doesn't make any sense to you. It does have the same name before. Let's see here, Tuli Sarah on it. So it seems like there was some correspondence between him, the church, and her. You don't know what it is. There's also various deeds to the mines tucked in there.
I want to get Frank's attention. Tell him to come here. I want to show him the church one and the alchemist.
All right, what do you do with the mining deeds?
Keep
All right, I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check to see
You
if
keep the deeds
sleight of
for
hand.
mine?
yeah, sleight of hand to see if Frank notices that you are pocketing these.
Dirty 20.
Golly.
15 plus.
Who is this guy?
You are lucky Frank rolled low because he has a +5.
I have a +5.
So yeah, Frank does not see you slip it's 3 deeds to 3 of the mines. It looks like a silver mine, a steel mine, and one that's sort of blotted out and very old. And you can't really make out most of the text, but you've stuffed them in your pocket.
Okay.
Or I guess in your goo.
And myself.
Frank looks over and he's like,
Absorb the knowledge.
he's like, all right, this Thule character, she keeps showing up, and we did. I suppose that is the alchemist he was going to meet. That's good. We've got a name. We've got an address on the other paper. And he says, all right, what was the other paper you got?
The church one.
Yeah. Okay.
Stones for the church.
Yeah, you hand it to him, and you say you just goo. And he's like, all right, that means nothing to me. He looks down at the paper, and he's like, all right, this seems less than kosher. Looks like the church was keeping the scrubbed version of the paperwork. He's like, that's good to know. A little bit of a cover up there. And he tucks it all in his pocket. And he goes, good work. I guess we'll keep looking. And he goes rummage around elsewhere again. You are looking through the books. You notice one. What did you roll again?
Oh, 14.
14. Yeah, I would say 14 is good enough. You see one book kind of has a similar orange glow to a lot of the holy artifacts at the church, which is strange because although he doesn't seem to be at odds with the church on the day-to-day, he does not seem like a person that was overly involved with the church. And they tend to hoard their religious artifacts quite preciously. And this is the book. It is a book filled with strange runes that doesn't really seem to do anything as you flip through it. But you can't make out a single word, and they're all strange. They don't seem to be any language you've seen before.
Which, with my keen mind, what time is it? How long did it take us to get to this mansion?
I would say as you're flipping through the pages, about 6:30. The sun is setting right now, so it's getting dark out. So yeah, that would be a good time.
As Balthamar is standing at this bookshelf and flipping through this book, you see this almost soft, warm light kind of like fades away from his aura. And if anyone is looking at him, they would see that this once 9 foot tall, 300-pound man starts to almost get smaller. And as he starts to shrink, the axe on his back turns into a little sword. The light fades away from him, and he is now a 5'7", very small man.
Frank sees this happen. He goes, "Holy crap! Keep that book away from me. I don't know what it did to you. I don't want to read it. No, you don't point it at me."
I turn around, I'm flipping through the pages, and I go, well, it's quite contrary. The only thing in this book is some old ancient runes. No one knows what these are.
He looks at you. He's like, "Are you a different person?"
What are you talking about? My name is Balthamar.
You see, It's like
You're not stupid anymore.
I am good.
He's like, it's just like you got more than 2 brain cells now.
Oh, yes. I guess it would be time for me to explain myself a little bit. You see, I came across an artifact. My name is Balthramar, that is true. But my alter ego, as we can call him, he is very difficult, to say the least. I didn't even have this alter ego until I had found this artifact on one of my dig sites. I used to be an archaeologist on the surface. And I found the axe. The axe that my other half decides to carry around. I don't know its exact origin, but it seems to be a holy relic of the church of the sun goddess. The church that we were in not too long ago.
Ah, okay. So he's like, looks like I only got half a muscle, but I'll keep you paid the same because it looks like you might actually need some help now. So we'll roll with this.
I will be as much help as I can. I would like to avoid physical altercations if at all possible, but if anything, when the sun has gone down, I promise you I can be helped with my mind rather than my bronze.
So he looks at you. He's like, so it's not the book. I can look at the book.
You can look at the book,
All right.
Frank. It is not the book that you should be concerned with.
All right. So do you hand him the book at this point?
Yeah, I
All right.
suppose.
So he starts flipping through it. He puts his goggles back on to try and help focus his energies, and he's looking through it. He's sort of spinning the dial. You see sort of a pulse come out of the book as he's inspecting it. He's just like making these noises, like, he's interested. And he's like, I don't recognize the English language. The pulse just like sort of like a light. His glasses are wigging out, twitching, different colors. He throws the book down. He's like, nope, I take it back. I don't care about the book. And just it's on the floor now. He's walking away. He's trying to fix his goggles until he's pretty ticked off.
Well, considering that it's not any language that has ever been recorded, I think it would be smart to just leave it alone.
I guess you would know that as an archaeologist. Nice, yeah, cool. So yeah. So Frank's like, all right. The archaeologist, you've never seen any of this before.
No, that book is quite strange. The symbol on the front does resemble the church a bit, but I'm not exactly sure where the runes come from.
He's like, well, all right. He's like, Apple Boy, what you got over there? And he sees you like lifting up the rugs. There is absolutely nothing under the rugs. You rolled way too low to find something.
I want to just like, Tony, what exactly is it that you think that you're doing?
I don't know. I thought there'd be a trap door under here or something.
We are on the ground floor of this mansion.
No, you're on the second floor.
Oh. Well,
Oh, look for trapdoors.
So
Well, maybe there's a trapdoor to the ground floor.
I want to look at the shelf.
So you're looking for trapdoors. You're lifting up rugs. Is there anything particular you want to do investigation-wise, just to let me see if you find something? Any ideas you might have? There's nothing under the rug. That was a plus.
Can I check the bookshelf, see if there's like a secret lever?
Yeah. So you can start pulling on books. I'm gonna have you roll investigation for me.
Investigation.
Yep.
21.
Ooh, 21. So yeah, you pull back one of the books, and you realize this isn't a book at all. It's just vaguely shaped like a book. It's made of wood, and you hear one of the bookshelves slides a little to the left. There's not a passageway or anything, but there's a safe there. You can tell, unlike the one in the manor from our first campaign, this is an actual nice safe. This one might be a little harder to get into than just bludgeoning it in with an axe.
well, seeing as
Let's have a
how
key to the
now the
gate.
sun has gone down and Balthramar is in his original state, not absorbing power from the axe, he can't really cause any damage.
That's good.
He's a lot more. I don't think I explained that very well. The sun determines the state in Balthramar's power levels.
So, and just for a little flavor text, where this is an underground city, there is lighting in the city 24/7, but it is very much underground. You cannot see the sky However, his powers are based more on the time of day, not the actual presence of the sun light hitting him.
Yeah.
So just in case you're at home, you're like, I see the thread, I'm going to pull it and tell them about it in the comment section. Okay. There's a safe now. What do you guys think?
What does the safe look like?
What kind of lock does it take?
Yeah, so
That's
it
what I
is about, I don't know, a foot by a foot. It's not very big. It's built into the wall, so it's not like one you can pull out and take. And it's got a lever on it and a little dial with some numbers.
It's a.
Any ideas on what you all want to do? Or
Can I try to crack open the? Is it like a combination?
Yeah.
Can I try to open the?
Yeah, if you just want to try and guesstimate and crack it, I will have you roll, I guess, sleight of hand.
Okay.
Or between sleight of hand and performance. We'll go with sleight of hand.
All right.
It's going to be a hard check. So
Big numbers, baby.
I wanna.
Ooh, that is. That's 22.
22.
You don't.
You figured out the first two numbers from the sounds of the clicks are 7 and 18. But you can tell there's another number, and the safe has been well oiled recently. You can't tell what the third number is. So it's not open, but you figured out two of the numbers.
I want to look for the numbers, like, if they're hidden.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you think they might be hidden?
I want to try it. First, I want to try that little box I found.
Yeah, you're going to go back to the leg?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
want to see if they're, like, hidden somewhere inside that only
Like engraved?
Like the brim. Yeah, like engraved.
Okay, so there's nothing engraved there, but let's see what you roll here.
17.
17. Yeah, we'll say that's good enough to pass. You will remember seeing a couple of dates on one of the deeds, and one of the dates that you saw was 7/18/22.
I want to look at him and go, I am good.
We're like, that could be the last number. You might be onto something.
Yeah. Now, do you tell them about the deeds, or you just say 22?
No, I just say 22. Like I found something inside the thing.
Oh, okay. Roll deception for me.
Oh,
Let me see if you convince them that you.
You
deception.
have to roll against his deception.
If natural 20.
Yeah, no, you get it.
See,
I'm just gonna let him have that one. I'm gonna let you contest that one.
that would be a 22.
Yeah, so they believe you. They don't even come to check.
So I go back over to the safe.
22 for 22.
I click, and does it open?
Yeah, you'll see there are a couple of gems in there.
Money.
Some gold. It doesn't look like there's too much else in here, except for there is sort of a ornate chunk of metal, like a gold bar. There's something a little off about it. You're not really sure what it is, because I don't think any of you are experienced in smithing, are you?
No.
Yeah, so there's some significance to this. We have no idea what's so special about this ingot. Other than that, there's just, a couple of gems. Let's see here. Roll to see how many you find here.
Is there any useful information inside of this?
It doesn't appear so, but you do find just some loot. So there's 6 gems in there. They're all rubies, and that ingot, and just some gold coins. Let's see.
Oh, are we taking these?
You're welcome to. There's about 40 gold coins in there.
I'm the one that found it, first of all.
You also see there's a box
I'm
of
the one that
cigars.
I'm going to try to steal it while the two are arguing.
Well, so they're arguing about the loot.
No.
Frank reaches over you and pulls out the box of cigars and goes, "Yeah, you can't smoke them now." And then he walks away with the box of cigars.
There might be something in the box.
But Frank took the box of cigars. Are you just going to try and shove everything quickly into your...
I'm going to try to grab
Into your goop.
the
Can I
gold.
grab the bar?
Yeah, I'm going to try to grab, gold.
All right, so yeah, you successfully get the gold. You are kind of...
Dude, are you using weighted dice?
Yeah, so you take everything really quickly. Just...
I bet that he changes dice. Because
The bar is quite heavy. Presley, I'm having you roll a stealth check.
No, watch. We're going to get in a battle when we're roll ones.
Yeah. Freaking A, dude. Does the bottom of your dice have a
Stealth?
magnet in it?
No, strength.
strength.
Yeah, I'm seeing if you can
Yeah,
pick it up
for
and quickly
acrylic
hide it
dice is
without,
magnetic.
Okay, 19.
I don't know if they
Yeah, you get the bar and you easily put it in your coat. The coat's kind of sagging to the side now. It's quite heavy.
How much gold did I get? I just wanted the gold.
120.
Cool.
Yeah, this was just some change he had on him that he put in there until he could take it to the bank.
Did they see me? Because I just wanted.
Just look.
But
I was kind of like looking at the.
Oh, yeah,
I was
that's
looking
true.
at the safe.
Frank could care less at this point.
Did he see me?
If he took the bar and he's taking the gold, I'm taking the rubies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You before you even see what happens, he stealthily takes all of the gold. He just sees the
You just
gleam
see
of
my
gold.
hand. You just see my hand go.
As a reaction, he just and just scoops it up. He picks up the bar. All that's left are the rubies at this point. So do you take 5 rubies?
I'm taking the 5 rubies.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have to take them to an appraiser to see what they're worth, but you do have 5 rubies now. So yeah, that.
Beaties.
Anything else y'all want to look into? Also, did you pick the book back up, or is it on the floor?
Oh, I've been holding the book.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can keep the card and just have that in your inventory for now. Then, is there anything else you all want to do while you're in here?
I guess just keep looking around. Did we find anything else? Just for time's sake?
For time's sake, I'll stop with just the investigate, look around, where do you want to look. There's not really, it doesn't really seem like there's much else here. There looks like there might be some valuable books, but it would be hard to sneak a ton of books along with all the things you've already shoved in your pockets, past the mistress of the house. Do you all do anything in terms of cleaning up, shutting compartments, or you just leave it?
Oh yeah, I'm cleaning everything up.
I'm shutting everything.
Yeah,
Like,
so you shut everything back.
Nothing unturned.
Yeah, Frank looks at y'all. He's like, don't worry about it. She's not got much in the way of brains. All she had was looks, and those are gone too. So she won't even know.
I do feel quite
Even
bad.
though he's saying that, safe is locked. The drawers, like nobody's been here. That's what I'm doing.
I close the bookshelf back up, or like
Yeah.
lift the
I just want to like.
lever back up to where it
Like,
was.
it is quite a shame that the accident had caused her to lose half of her face. I must say, it is quite tragic.
It's like, yeah, something with some chemicals or something. She fell in, something burned her face. I don't know. It was before I know.
Chemicals? Could this be mining chemicals?
That would be my best guess, but I'm not really sure.
Interesting. I might, if it's not too much, I might ask the lady of the manor.
He's like, all right, let's go down there. He leads you down there. She's sitting in the kitchen, drinking out of, you know those like massive wine glasses that are like the size of your hand?
Oh,
that
you
see
hold
on,
Like
like
a martini
yeah,
glass?
you see no, it's like a full wine glass, but it's like this big. It's like the size of a milk jug that you see online on like ads.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. She's unironically drinking a full one of those at the counter.
Nice.
You can tell it's this. She's a human woman, about 5 foot. Half her face is burnt. Her hair is doesn't really grow right on that left side of her face. The right side grows right. It's long brown hair, and she's just sitting there drinking in her night dress. She's dressed like she's going somewhere, but she doesn't appear to be. And so
I want to like kind of like walk over and like sit down at the table at her and be like, she wouldn't recognize me because my appearance had like my form has changed
she's like,
since I walked into the house. So,
Are you with Frank as well? And Frank's like, yeah. I'm not gonna explain it. He's with me.
well, I must say you have a lovely home.
Thank you. We had the money and the means, so we figured why not bless the town with this brilliant home.
Well, you've done quite a good job at that. Might I ask what the occasion is? You look wonderful.
She holds up her hand and she just takes like a 5-second just guzzle of the wine and sets the thing back down. She's like, it's just every day.
Ah, I see.
She's like, this whole thing.
Well, would you mind if I had a drink myself?
And she's like, if there's any left.
That's quite fair.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would like to ask you is, do you know if your husband had any enemies? Like, I know that he was a very wealthy man, and he must have made someone angry along the way.
Not that I would know of. I recall some somewhat hostile dealings with the church recently, but nothing ever legal or with full confrontation. Mostly just heated letters, typical business dealings gone wrong.
Well, even the smallest business deal gone wrong can turn to be the worst thing in a city like this.
She's like, you're telling me?
I've seen
chugs more wine.
I've seen homeless people stab other people because they took their bedroll.
She's like, bless your soul. You've got to stop going to the slums.
Well, we don't all have it as nice as you, but I will say this. We are doing everything in our power to find your husband's killer, and hopefully we can put you to some rest, and if not, I suppose you should hire somebody else.
She's like, oh, that's the first time I've hired someone. And they said to hire someone else. And she's like, but I'll be here drinking my sorrows. And then she just starts downing the rest of the glass. She's a full 10 seconds straight of just chugging while you're sitting there.
I'm like, well, as you were, and I want to like stand up, kind of like tap my sword, like just kind of like tap it with my hand, like rhythmically, like, and just kind of like walk back towards the door.
Yeah, you can tell that she's willing to talk, but she does not enjoy talking about Frank, and that's why she's just drinking more and more. As you walk away, she's still drinking. She's not quite emptied this glass yet. Any of the rest of you want to do anything, or?
I'm gonna get the alchemist paper.
Yeah.
And point, look at, go in front of Frank, point at that Tulia Sarah.
Yeah.
Tuli Sarah.
Yep.
And, I am good. Trying to tell him we need to go here.
Alright.
I believe what my friend is trying to say is that we should visit our elven friend.
He's like, oh, I'm glad you still know what he's saying, but I agree. It seems like there's a lot of things pointing to her. He's like, I think it'd be a good idea too at some point to go talk to this Randall character that supposedly lives nearby too. But I think it's high time we talk to Tuli. Seems like she's definitely gonna know something.
I agree. We should make haste.
All right. So let's see here. So it is actually going to be in the Blacklight slums district. So you've come from the church and you went into this smaller section of the green near the park. This yellow section is the lower quality area of town. As you can see, there's a lot of giant squares in the map that aren't filled with houses. Those are typically warehouse districts. It looks like it's one of those. So if you all would want to head there. As you are leaving the house, you guys can roll perception for me if you want.
Yeah.
Perception?
Yep.
What did I tell you?
Yeah, you sucking now?
Yeah.
Good.
12.
I got an 18.
What you got over there?
Perception, there it is. 20. 30, 20.
So yeah, the Goon noticed that the two of you will have seen a blue flash off to the side of the building. Did you see that?
I did. I would like to get off the street as quick as possible. I do not like these places towards the evening hours.
So
Quite sketchy.
You're still in the merchant district.
Oh.
This is quite nice. You were leaving the Stone Manor.
So we saw a bright light.
Yeah, over in the fenced-in pavilion of their yard on the side of the building.
Well,
sketchy.
Tony, do you think we should investigate? This seems right up your alley with your ruggedness and all of your time spent in the Mafia.
Listen, I don't know what that is, and I have no quarrel with it.
He doesn't even care.
Well, if you won't, I guess I will. It is my duty as...
Well, I'll go with you, I guess.
It is my duty as a discoverer to discover. So, as we were, and I want to kind of walk around to it, I suppose.
Alright, so you kind of cautiously, slowly walking, or are you
I want to sneak. I want to cautiously, slowly,
I'm gonna have my hand on my
Do
chest,
I know
so
what's
ready.
going on now? Or am I still... I don't see it.
you just see them fussing and walking on the side. You did not see the flash at all.
Okay, I'm going to just follow them and stealth because I see them stealthing.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm gonna keep my hand on my pistol, just so it's ready.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, just all roll stealth and we'll go with the highest.
I just did a 15 plus 22.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so yeah, you successfully sneak around, but it appears in the time you have taken, whatever was happening has almost fully run its course. You see what looks like a blue floating kind of wispy rectangle, and as you round the corner, it looks like perhaps someone has stepped through it, because the only thing you see is about the bottom foot of someone's leg moving into the bottom of the rectangle, and then it shuts. Took you way too long to get over here, so they got away.
Wait,
Someone just went through that.
I saw.
oh, so
yeah.
Yeah, you all see it, but it's just like a big blue rectangle, and it just shuts.
Were they watching
Towards
the
the
entire time? Did they see us while we were in there? Were they stalking us? Oh dear.
Something's the matter. I'll tell you that much.
All right. Well, this is where we are going to conclude this episode of the Dungeon Master's Tavern. Come back next time to find out what is going to happen next. What was that figure? What's going on with the alchemist? Is the church involved, or is this just a red herring? Find out next time.